My name is Nina Francisco. I was born in Luanda, Angola, and I grew up in Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm currently based in the Bay Area, San Jose to be specific. I work for a nonprofit called 12 Acres, which serves people with developmental challenges. And I'm also a global ambassador for Empowering a Billion Women by 2020. I was a participant last year, and it was such a life-changing experience because I was given tools and resources as well as skills to use if I want to use sport as a tool for social development and peace in developing countries. And so I'm back this year, but as a staff, so I'm on the other side, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing, and I'm really excited to be here to continue to grow in this journey and hopefully implement it soon in my field as a social entrepreneur. I hope to take leadership skills. I think that is so essential and crucial, especially as a young future leader, gaining the right skills and gaining the right tools and resources and the networks is essential to not just my growth, but to those that I am going to serve and impact as well. It's absolutely, I was here last year and I'm back this year, and I'm just, in awe of the magnitude of this facility. I think the resources are definitely here, and everyone who has the privilege of coming to IMG, whether as a student or for camp, is really privileged and really blessed to be a part of this facility. I think it's great, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity.
Oh, it's been so amazing. I've met so many cool people from different places. There's a girl from India, actually two, Kalawati, and it's just been an incredible experience, like learning about them and then having great people like Miss Vandervelt come and visit us and be able to talk about her company and how to interact with people. It's been great. It's actually been really interesting hearing what my companions have been doing. And I know that Ms. Vandervelt said not to compare yourself to others, but I feel like I have to do that in order to move forward and go to my own community and say, hey, sports can do so much. It's done so much to me in the high school level and college. But I feel like I can also teach the youth and say, hey, volleyball, tennis, it does a lot. Right now, I don't really know my purpose in life. That was one of Ms. Vandervelt's questions. And I think that's a good thing because life is full of uncertainty, and I feel like I shouldn't just be on this narrow road. So right now, I'm just kind of looking at my life and saying, hey, I was raised in an American culture, in a middle-class family, and I'm looking for places to really help out. And, I feel like it's the responsibility of the capable to help those who are less capable, in any way possible. And I feel like sports for me is the best outlet. I'm also studying economics, so I was hoping maybe to reach out to the UNDP because I know that they do good work as well. So it all depends. It kind of changes day by day, to be honest. Right, so I actually went to the Bolletary Tennis Camp 2 years ago here for a week, and I took some leadership conferences, talks there, and it's been really innovative and helpful. Coming back here has been really nice. The weather's been a bit iffy, but the people have been really nice and open-minded. And I've not only learned from my international companions, but also from those who live here, and how hardworking they are, and how if you always persevere and believe in yourself, you can go wherever you want to go.
And I think the most thing I learned is about reflections, because we all engage in sports activities and we also enjoy it. But in our country, maybe we seldom reflections about what we learn or what we should have learned throughout the activities and games. And also through the communication with the colleagues or friends from different other countries, I also learned that how they become empowered by sports and how they enjoy it and how they will make changes in their community. Okay, I think the practical skills of the activities is what I'm going to bring back, because we already have a diversity of activities in our country, and we also have different kinds of sports developing, getting better and better in our community. But I think that maybe we seldom learning about how we're gonna get from the sports we learn, how we have to learn, and how we have to get to the maximum participation through sports activities. And I think that the ways and maybe the activities they're going to bring us together, that's how I'm going to bring back. Okay, the first thing that I think they are all experienced and they are willing to solve our problems. That's because we bring our experience and also our questions here, and they are willing to answer and willing to encourage us in the different aspects that how we can take our attitudes or what steps we are going to take, so that they will make us fulfill our goals step by step.
I'm Ingrid Vanderveld, and I'm the founder and CEO of Empowering a Billion Women by 2020, and our headquarters are based in Austin, Texas, which is where I just flew from to be here with all of you. Well, being here at the UN Sports Summit is just something that I was so looking forward to, because I had such a fantastic time last year. And I think in part, first of all, I love the United Nations and all the work that we get to do together. But I really think about how Nelson Mandela talked about how sports is the universal language. And it really is something that brings people together, in the spirit of peace and prosperity and communication. And this is the one sort of major event that the UN puts together that brings all these young people together who have to apply and get accepted to come into the program. So when we show up here, when I show up here, I'm going to meet these extraordinary individuals who are using sport and a number of other tools, but really to do the things that are creating a better future for all. So I think it's probably more inspiring for me than it is for them listening to me speak, but hopefully we're able to give some real value, because I love being here with everyone. What I hope to impart to the students is really, and we spent some time on this today, but to really create the global sustainable future that we all dream of, that we envision, that creates a better world for all of us, it requires all of us to step up to our fullest potential. And what I really hope to impart with all of the people that are here, all the students that are here, is that one person, them, who has a clear vision and a committed heart. It is, in fact, possible, despite all the odds, despite all the people telling you can't make it happen, that you can realize these incredible visions that you have for yourself. That's why you're here. So my objective is to share some of the lessons that I've learned in my own career about overcoming the odds, overcoming being broke and homeless after losing my venture, losing everything I owned, and having to learn step by step, how do you pick yourself up and how do you still go forward in a way that allows you to realize these huge visions that are available for all of us. So some of those takeaways are what we taught today, and had a lot of fun doing it. So that's why I'm here. What's in it for me to come here and work with all the students is really, it goes back to the core of why I'm on earth and why I am doing Empowering a Billion Women by 2020, because it fuels my soul to get up every day and be connected to individuals, men and women, boys and girls, who are using their lives to create good. So when I have the opportunity to meet these amazing people who have been hand-selected to come to the UN Sports Summit, learn their stories, learn their challenges, and learn about what is it that they're trying to do in their countries, what it does is my wheels get spinning and I think, how can I help? What can we do? How can we bring Empowering a Billion Women, the resources we have, the corporations we're connected to, how can we connect with these individuals that are creating massive opportunity for so many people and make a difference together? So that's what I get out of it, and plus it's just, you can't even dream of a more inspiring place to be. So this is the place to be right now, so yeah. Well, I think that, so where IMG really plays a role with this UN Sports Summit and where I'm so grateful for everything that IMG is doing, first of all, thank you for hosting us. Thank you for putting all of this together. But, you know, things don't happen in a vacuum. So even though we talk about the power of one and the power of potential and possibility of individuals to create this enormous change, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. So if we're not creating those opportunities like this to bring those leaders together, to get them connected to leaders and resources and opportunities that can help move those ideas forward, it really becomes very difficult to move those ideas forward. So IMG and UN Sports Summit is that gathering place one time a year here in Bradenton, Florida, which by the way is beautiful. So if you haven't been here, you gotta come and be part of this. It's unbelievable. But this is the one time of year that everybody comes together to really explore, okay, how are we gonna help each other and collaborate and make these big ideas happen? So it's pretty extraordinary what's happened here. And thank you again to IMG for doing all of this. Thank you.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, my experience of coming down here, it was actually quite challenging. I've experienced quite difficulties or some challenges as soon as I landed at Orlando Airport. So for me to land from Orlando Airport to come straight here, it was a bit of a challenge because I had to find my own transport, which means I need to make my own means to ensure that I'm going to find the place where the conference is going to be held. But so far, I must say that I've learned a lot. I mean, especially having to mix up with people coming from different cultural backgrounds. To me, that was a learning curve because it's something that I've always wanted to experience. And obviously, having to come from Africa, you get to learn a lot about the perception of people about Africa. A lot of them thinking that Africa, it's a jungle, there's still animals living in Africa. So I think us coming here gave me the opportunity to educate people and also to tell them to change their mindset, the perception about, look, Africa is not only living animals, it's not a jungle, it's actually a beautiful and amazing land, same as the United States. And also, I think it was quite interesting in the sense that this such of summit, it gives us the opportunity to network as much as we can. I mean, so far I've networked with so many people, and this is an experience of a lifetime, something that you'll never get it anywhere else. It's such an humbling experience, such an humbling moment, yeah. Yeah, first of all, I think they play a huge impact in terms of education, capacity building, because most of us, we came here knowing some of the things, but you'll never know everything, you know. So once you get the opportunity to come to places like this, that's when you got to realize that, wow, it's actually amazing to know and to sit, you know, in class and to know that, to realize that there's a lot of things that you don't actually know that you thought you knew. And for instance, we just learned about the SMILES approach. And it was my first time hearing hearing about the SMILES approach. And it was so easy for me to understand it, but most importantly of which, I did address that in class, that SMILES approach as one of the learning tools that we can use to ensure that the event or any activity or program that you're coming up with within communities is going to be enjoyable. What I emphasized is the how part. We all know what is it that needs to be done, the program that you want to come up with, but most importantly is how can you further outline or indicate how are you going to implement whatever that you came up with. So for me, that was actually quite interesting. And the activities that we're doing earlier on, about 40 minutes ago, we were actually playing netball, a game that is similar to netball. So to me, at first I was like, this is boring for me, you know, because it was the first time I played in that format. But we got the opportunity to play it again. So that actually has actually opened my mind and actually made me realize that it is indeed quite interesting to be given. You shouldn't undermine, you know, any activity, especially if you don't know what is the impact of that. And the outcome of that activity was quite amazing. I enjoyed it and I wanted to play it quite often. And which is something that when I go back to South Africa, I would like to initiate in my community and to also educate the kids about playing sport is not always about winning, and how trauma, because I mean, if we're talking of the trauma now, we're talking about the psychological impact of the activity or of the program that you're coming up with. So one needs to be very aware of how a trauma could actually play a positive role and a negative role, and also how can you use that to ensure that it is going to help you to be able to heal the nation. Yeah. Yeah, first of all, United Nations is such a big organization. I mean, everybody in the world do want to be part and parcel of United Nations. So for me to come here, I knew that it's being identified as one of the participants for 2016. I knew that it's actually one of those amazing and opportunity of a lifetime. So when I go back, firstly, for my personal development and personal growth, it's good for me personally, because when I go back to South Africa, and if I put it on my CV that actually I was a member of United Nations, definitely there's going to be a lot of sponsors that will be interested in me in terms of funding the programs that I was doing, because of United Nations is doing a whole lot of community development programs. So with the education that we're getting from this program, definitely it's absolutely out of this world. So it will definitely help me to be able to attain my objectives, in a sense that with the knowledge that I've acquired from this summit is a knowledge that can be able to go back to South Africa and plow it back in my communities.
Yeah, so this is my 5th day, first year helping out with the event. Got connected with Fran, who organized this summit back in January. So it's been a short-lived relationship between myself and the United Nations and Fran, but it's been a great experience so far. Yeah, so what I've learned so far, we have 35 different participants from 13 different countries. I'm just trying to learn how all these different kids come together with their different views with issues around the world when it relates to sport. So again, probably the ultimate goal is learning from them, being able to take my experiences here and relate those experiences to my work outside the summit. Yeah, so I mean, I guess my vision is to take the information that I'm able to learn here and just kind of run with it. So my goal ultimately is to help, I guess, reform and reshape collegiate athletics. So learning about the true power of what sport represents here, be able to take the experiences and put together my motives, my visions for, I guess you could say, that reform project. Again, this is only the 5th day, but I know the information that I'm going to be able to take from here, learning from these kids, is going to be instrumental for hopeful change down the road in sport.
Well, it's been a great experience so far because I've gotten to meet a whole lot of people, made friends with different people from different countries, gotten to share different ideas, learned a lot from different coaches and different experts that are here. Basically, I want to learn and be able to teach others what I've learned from here. I want to see how others tackle different problems that I might as well be experiencing at home. Basically, it's from where we are now and the future. And exactly, we're trying to find mentors that can get us from where we are and to achieve our goals in the future. So basically, I was just describing myself and the situation I am, and basically trying to map out an idea or a road to reach my goals. Basically, they're giving me all the ideas and just letting me choose the best that best possibly fix the problems that we have, because everybody is sharing their ideas, and I'm able to collect the different ideas and come up with the best possible solution to help everybody in Botswana.
We've met with a lot of different organizations that pride themselves on working with the UN for different social issues and just overall making the world a better place with sports, and specifically with working with youth. Yeah, so I really want to work with youth specifically and human rights. So giving me the guidance and the tools to kind of start on my journey, and giving me the inspirations to start an organization that works with youth, but also giving me contacts and networking abilities by meeting wonderful people, and then also with the organization. So it's just really given me a plethora of tools to help guide me in my career working with different organizations and youth specifically as well. Next year, I'm going to Vietnam, so I want to be able to make the most of that experience, specifically working with orphanages and Agent Orange victims. But I also want to be able to work with people in my community at Coker and as well as at home in Michigan, and making the most of working with those organizations. So I think everything that I've learned here will definitely help me make the better of those experiences. So with EBW, we did a vision board on basically what our future goals are and what we want to do with our career, and also like what contact would be who would we want to contact and why would we want to contact them if we could contact anyone in the world. And so I picked Amel Clooney because she's a prominent human rights attorney, and I really admire her as a person and how she carries herself out, and she has the facilities and the financial backing to help anyone, and I really admire that. But on my board, basically I talked about what I want to do with my career, so going to law school, possibly applying for a Fulbright scholarship and working in human rights, and then my futuristic goal of creating maybe a boarding school that helps people or children in impoverished areas get scholarships, and eventually help them get into NCAA sports and things of that nature, and giving kids a second chance at life. They're giving us a great venue to learn, and
really connecting with people from different areas of the world and giving me a perspective that I never would have had unless I have gotten to come here at IMG with the United Nations. It's given me confidence in what I'm doing and just experiencing different relationships with other people. It's just a really awesome experience in meeting with a bunch of wonderful people and organizations.
My first name is Mesfin, last name Length. Originally from East Africa, Ethiopia. I came to the United States when I was 12 through an orphanage, and I've been here for 9 years now, and went to middle school, high school, and now I'm a senior in college at Illinois College. For this program, I'm hoping to get a lot out of my friends that I met here, and people from different continent, countries, and they have a lot of experiences, different backgrounds. They've been, experienced a lot of different things. So you learn a lot from each other, the best, and so that's one thing. And then as well as how to be knowledgeable and also gain some leadership works and develop on leadership and how to use this or utilize it in the community when I go back. So one of the things that I've done back at the Illinois College is that through Oxfam Club, we raised some money. We raised some money to go to African country for microfinancing. So this money would be using especially for women. So we raised about like $60, but in a country, for example, like in Ethiopia, this would be like close to $1,000, and that would be a pretty good start for business. So there are a lot of ideas here. Actually, today we learned about Ingrid and how there is entrepreneurial business and how we can make social impacts. So so far, those have been the experiences I've gotten out of it. When this is done, at the end of the day, I think what matters is your passion. What we learned today was it's you. The power that makes you is you, and being unique is okay. And if you have your passion to follow it, and everybody will have different things to follow, and as long as you're you have the game plan, or maybe you don't, and it's okay to ask people to get on the right task, and it's really to give it the best effort as much as possible, and then hopefully make as much, give back as much as possible. So that's what I would say, and giving back to community is always the thing, because we athletes, we play sports all the time, but if it's just us, oh yeah, let's play. I play soccer, and if I just want to play soccer all the time, it's okay, but I can do more by maybe coaching local kids, or being assistant, or doing something, civic engagement or social work. So far, for the limited time 3 days that I've been here, just hearing what others have to say and what they have been doing, it's very inspirational. We have Juan, who's from Guatemala, doing some Olympic activities with kids and teaching them, the best thing as the best as he could, and so people from different areas. We have Thomas, who's a referee. So everybody has a different career path. And I thought I was, left out. I'm like, I'm majoring in economics. I'm majoring in international studies, and these, kids are doing amazing. Yesterday, somebody was grading a French quiz or whatever. So they're like teachers and stuff. But this is the thing. There are a lot of people, with different experiences, and you learn from them. And it's okay to not have, a career yet, but once you find your passion, then you can follow it. So I think that's what the IMG and the UN is trying to. It's for us to get the best experience and to be cultured and to get to know each other and bring the best out of us. So.
My experiences with the UN Summit and the students that are participating in this program has been really positive. I find that the students are incredibly insightful, thoughtful people. They're really the first responders, if you will, working directly with the populations and communities that they're serving. They're champions. They're actually saving people's lives with the hope that they're giving them, the accessibility, the life skills, and the sports skills that are helping increase kids' confidence, self-efficacy, and get them further in life. Really, their goal is the same as our goal with Edgeworth Consulting, which is to help them get a little better every day, take them a little farther, and keep them a little safer. Today's workshop was on trauma-sensitive or trauma-informed coaching. One of the things that all of these service providers are doing is working with populations that are either underserved, they're at risk, or they are trying to get bigger and better outcomes for their kids. On the continuum, we all want them to increase their life skills, the things that they can take with them, that's confidence, education, accessibility, opportunity. But on the sports side, we also know that sports are going to teach them all of these things, not just as a vehicle, but totally infused to help them build those stepping stones. As they continue to master skills and get better at their sport, they are also going to get better in life skills. They try something on the field or on the court, they're going to try those things in the classroom and at home. They're going to take new risks and challenges. For our session, we're actually asking them to be even more than just the sport-based youth development coach. We're asking them to be the trauma-sensitive coach and to understand that they have kids that are dealing with trauma. They may not see it on the outside, but on the inside, they may have a couple kids. They may be working with an entire population that has experienced acute or chronic trauma, and we're trying to give them specific coaching skills to help those kids also take it a little further, make it a little better, and keep them a little safer. Well, I have to say, for me, the biggest thing that I've been getting out of this whole group, the whole summit, is just this incredible inspiration. I think that these young people are incredibly motivational for me to be on the front lines, working every day with these kids, helping them grow, helping whole communities heal in many ways. It is just a huge inspiration. I'm taking their stories with me that fuels my experiences to work with other organizations and populations. Well, first, many thanks to IMG for hosting this. It's an incredible facility. It's really nice to be in a sports facility when you're dealing with sports-based youth development. You have people who understand the event planning, the motivation and drive, even the eating, all of it. I think there's a really well-rounded recipe for people to have success here, especially with so many participants traveling from such great distances. It's just an awesome place to feel very safe and comfortable, and obviously in such a picturesque environment. They've been tremendous. And the UN Summit, the people behind the whole program, I think their tireless efforts to continue to use sport for development of peace and for global issues is just incredible. I think that it's just a wonderful opportunity to reach people in doing something that they love to do through physical activity.